Hi everyone, welcome back to another year with my Gnomies and welcome to October. I'm doing this voiceover this same October 20th and I apologize, I almost forgot to put this up. So luckily I didn't forget completely though, and so it's going up for you today. As soon as I'm done with this voiceover, I will go ahead and get it uploading. And anyway, I will say I absolutely love this month's layout, how it turned out. Forgot to show you guys, I think I forget to show you guys the sample. It's up there in the corner. But I think there's quite a few of you maybe playing along. If you're playing along, I'd love if you left a comment below. And I'd love to know if you're kind of doing, going off my measurements or whatever, doing the same kind of thing, or if you are doing your own thing. I would just love to know who's all playing along, or if you're waiting to start. I know at one point somebody asked if they should start or wait, and I think it was right in the middle of the months where everything was really harder, more confusing to know what to cut things to. So I might have suggested you might want to wait. But anyways, yeah, I'm just kind of a little curious on who's all playing along. I played with the photo mats this month. I didn't really, you might have noticed, I kind of used up scraps. At this point, I've got a lot of scraps, but not a lot of full. I have the full colors. You might be able to see in the top left corner. I have a full orange one, I think, and a full red one for, November and December. Like here is a full one. This one might be for, sorry if you can hear some noise in the background. My cat, because my son is away at college, wants to be, oh man, he's going to get up. Oh no, he's just adjusting. He's been very much a brat. I'll just put it that way. He's just been, I think he knows that something's different. And what's funny is when my son comes home, on the weekends, my son's been coming home, luckily, which has also been another reason I've been not uploading lately. It's just been kind of busy and enjoying the weekends with him. But the cat doesn't seem to care that he's home, but when he leaves, he's a brat. So it's like, oh my gosh, this cat's driving me insane. But anyways, enough about that. As always, every month with this series, I put the measurements. They are approximate. I would suggest if you are following along to watch the rest of the video before doing any cutting yourself. Just might help because sometimes I trim, well, if you've been watching, trim things out, make them different and wonky. So this month, no different, although I think everything, I'm looking at the pages and when I was measuring them just now, I think everything kind of worked out. Next time, if I were to do something like this again, I would probably take a little more time to measure things for you guys, but I don't know. I've been I know this is, a lot of people have really enjoyed this series, but I don't know if I know what I would do. Again, I have one idea, but I also have some different series that I'm going to start, hopefully at the beginning of the year. I might start videotaping them now, recording them now, and so they're kind of ready, kind of like I did this one. Again, I did all of these layouts last December, so that's why I don't always remember. But what I was saying about the photo mats as well is that I played around and had a lot of fun. You can see they're all different colors, so I just picked more Halloween colors. There's black and orange on this left-hand page. And I did put the sizes, but they're all 3.5 by 4.5 so that there's a good, border before the photos go on. And then the photos, I did ink the edges of the white paper. Now, if you don't want to add those white photo mats, by no means do you have to. I went ahead and added them and inked them. And what I will do is I will go ahead and I will add my photos, but I will trim them down to probably like 2 7/8 by 3 7/8, and I have no idea if that's the correct measurement because I am so horrible at measurements, but basically what I'm saying is that I will probably trim my photos slightly smaller than 3 by 4, and so that they will fit and you will still see a little bit of that white. and that's why I went ahead and inked them. I've been enjoying the white border. I've always loved the look of white borders. Never really made it a point to add them. You know, I don't print, usually I don't print my photos with the white border, although I have been a few times lately. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't even know if those videos have gone up yet. You'll have to see. But I have been kind of enjoying the white border. And the reason I usually don't, and I think I may have talked about this in another video, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. But anyways, the reason I usually don't is I pre-print a lot of my photos, which has also been changing a little bit. But I usually don't pre-print my I usually pre-print my photos, and so I've always had them ready to go and didn't do the white border because I didn't know the sizes. Like I may have a one that's cut to 4 or printed at 4x6 right now, but I may cut it down to like 2x3, you know. So that's just something, just a little bit of insight on that. But anyways, all that to say that I will when I add my photos, and you'll see, because I think I'm going to do my absolute best to find photos for all of these layouts. I was doing really good for a few months there, got some up. I have quite a few. Trying to wait to do them all at once. Sorry, I got distracted. Some weird car is in the neighborhood, but sorry, I totally got distracted there. Anyways, I was doing really good getting my photos on the layouts, but I kind of slowed in that aspect just because I wasn't finding everything and it was taking a long time. And then I had other things I wanted to do. So, but I do promise to do a recap video and get as many photos on as I was. A lot of them I thought that maybe I would take photos either from this year or from last year, but you know, not working out 100%, but I don't really mind. I'll just have to go back and find older photos. And like I said, hopefully I'll be able to find some photos for each one, but not guaranteed. Excuse me. Now here's an example of what I mean about approximate sizes. So the banner was a little too big to go where I wanted it to go. Now, if you would have glued it down first, then you could have left it the size. It still was the size. So, I mean, you could even put it out a little further. But that's just what I mean about approximate. So I'm putting these in here. I think I originally cut this to be a little bigger, but I'm going to cut it down. I think it's 1 inch. I believe this banner is 1 inch now, and I just didn't want it to be so big. I think I was trying to basically at this point go very similar to what they had on their little example sheet. If you don't have this collection and you want to see the sample sheet, I do apologize that I didn't show it in every video. Some of them I remembered too, some of them I didn't, but you could always go search, you know, Year with My Gnomies, and you could probably find an image of all their samples like you see up in the top left corner. There are no sizes on those, so everything was pretty much just a guess. And if you're newer to this series, what I'm doing is taking their single pages and making them into double pages. So that's where it gets a little more complicated. So you will only find a single page, by the way, just so you know. Now, that being said, the first page that I do, I tried to keep very similar to what they, oh, there it is. I did remember to show you. Took me the first full layout, but hey, I actually remembered. What I was saying though is I'm taking theirs and making it into my own, like my own double page. So their first page, I'm trying to keep, you know, a lot of them, some of them turned out to be different. A lot of them were the same. I don't know. I really, really like the way that this one turned out. And this is something that I was actually looking at just now. A lot of double pages, you know, I will have a lot of things meet in the middle, a lot of the papers to make it look cohesive. So it's like one larger page instead of just two separate pages. But I was looking at this one, and this is a double page, and I really like it. I like how the papers are kind of separated. And so this is kind of just a little reminder to me that not everything has to absolutely line up as well, you know, to make a double page. So I might have to keep this in mind and try this layout, you know, with different papers. Maybe not exactly the same, but, you know, if you wanted it, everything to line up, you could add either another photo mat or line your photo mats exactly up in the middle. So move these ones over and the other ones over so that they meet in the middle, but I actually kind of rather like how they are. Now, the other thing you can see me do in here, you might have seen me do it on I don't always leave this part in, but this actually went pretty quick, so I thought I'd leave it in. I've had different comments about this. This is basically just faux stitching. They had this on their example, which is why I'm doing it, and I love it. I think it just adds just a little bit more detail, and it does help bring some of the two pages together. So it lines up there. There is another strip of paper that I'm going to add, but it just adds, I'm basically just mirroring kind of the layout. So here's the other strip of paper that I'm going to add to make the two pages kind of connect. But that faux stitching, I don't measure. I just kind of put my ruler down so that it's almost a straight line, you know, as straight as I can get it. And I just go for it, and I just make little dashes. They're all different sizes. It doesn't really matter to me. When I'm doing those faux stitching lines, I do try to make the lines, I don't know how well you can see. If you want to check it out in the still shot photos, you can, but I try to make them different lengths. So on the left-hand page, the inner faux stitching line is shorter than the outer one. And I mean, in my screen, I can barely see it, but maybe you can see it on yours. On the right-hand page, same thing. The inner faux stitching line is shorter than the outer. And they are approximately the same lengths as each other, but not really. I mean, looking at it now, they don't look. So, I mean, I didn't worry about how long the left page was compared to the right page. But that's just something to make it a little more interesting. If you do add stitching or faux stitching, multiple lines of it, try to make them different lengths, and it will just add that little something. So I do apologize. I didn't put the punch sizes that I used on here for these circles. Just any punch or die that will work, that will fit on those circles would be perfect. Probably around a 1-inch punch, so that's what I'm going to kind of guess on those at this point. But if you have the paper, then you can just find a punch or die that will work, or you can just cut them out by hand. That would work just as fine as well. The other thing you can see that I'm doing to make my banner edges, some people know this trick, some people don't. I'm taking the banner and I'm just kind of gently folding it in half. I don't crease it. It does make a little bend mark in the paper, so, you know, keep that in mind if that's something that would really bother you. But I just fold it very gently in half and I cut it at an angle, and that gives you, that way it makes it, you know, like basically the same size. So if you're like me and kind of like things, you know, the same size, little OCD coming out there. It just helps though. But like I said, it does leave just a tiny bend mark depending on how hard you fold it down as well. If you use the more gentler of a hand you use, the more it will, the less of a fold mark it will leave. But you know, that fold mark doesn't really have to stay once you glue it down. I mean, you could use some liquid glue if it really bothered you and really glue that part down, but it's not noticeable at all. I have my layouts here, right here beside me, and it's not noticeable. So that's just a little trick if you didn't know about it. So, and these little foam strips that I'm using, I think I've mentioned in multiple videos, I have these little sheets of these foam squares. Been trying to use them up. I was so excited. Like 2 months ago, I thought I was done using them. And then I went to pack for a crop, which I have a video coming up about that. So I won't say too much, but I found some more and I was like, oh, dang, I thought I was done with those. But no, I had a few more, but I think I have one left now. And so I will get those used up. But actually, I do have a really long video that, it's not super long, but I do have a video about a crop that I went to just recently, and so I will hopefully get that up. I need to, what I want to do is record the layouts that I did at the crop, and then I will put it up for you, but you'll see that. So here I am. I'm just basically taking the stickers, playing around with them, putting them all over the place. This 31, I decided to go ahead and put over that star. I kind of like that. I think if I had to do it again, I would go back and pop it up so it's stuck up a little bit, but right now it's just on the star. And if you didn't like it there, you could just add that 31 somewhere else. Just playing, using up every one of the stickers on here. Although actually what I didn't use was that word boo. And I noticed that when I uploaded the photo for this video of my scraps. And I'm thinking, I wonder if I could go back and add that word boo somewhere, because I didn't use it on the little mini calendar that I've been doing with these, by the way. And it looks like my still stock photos are all kind of messed up. Excuse me, I'm sorry for my throat this time around. But anyways, just adding the words around. This is basically the layout. I'm adding the little candy corns around. And again, at the end, I will have photos of the little calendar that I did and the scraps that I had left over. And I hope you guys like this layout. Again, let me know below if you are playing along, if you are enjoying this series. Oh, and I did go back and I did add some black enamel dots just to kind of give it a little something more. So just letting you know that. Sorry, I'm so sorry about my throat, you guys. But yeah, so that is my layout, and I hope you guys enjoyed this series. And I shall see you next month. And I'm sorry that I haven't had any videos up, but I will change that. Hopefully I will go upload multiple right now. So, all right, see you next month. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.